Moving right along, the 106 in Park reboot might be happening. So I didn't realize this, y'all, but we are approaching the 25th anniversary, I guess, of 106 in Park, the countdown show. It had a hell of a run, right, from 2000 to 2014. However, when the show returns, it's reportedly it's gonna look a little different, they say. Now, this specifically comes from Vibe.com. They say that the president and CEO, Scott Mills, has confirmed that the network is in the process of rebooting the series, but the format is going for, I guess, more of a digital audience, right? Now, the original host, if you don't remember, Free and AJ, fan favorites, y'all, back in the early 2000s. They hosted the show from its launch until 2015. In the process, though, of, I guess, securing some long-term hosts, Jaleesa and Big Tigger, they hosted from 2005 to 2006. The second set of long-term hosts were Roxy and Terrence J. They became, fan favorites as well. They hosted the show from 2006 to 2012. Then BET did something unexpected. In my opinion, I feel like they decided to go with like the 4 hosts that they did that year from 2012 to 2013 with Bow Wow, as well as I had to look these other folks up, forgive me. Jordan Shorty, the Prince Johnson, Kimberly Pagan Walker, as well as Mikhail Miss Mikey Gray. So BET, though, they say unexpectedly ended up releasing those other individuals and just kind of making Bow Wow the permanent host. They added Angela Simmons to fill in temporarily. And then they finally did get somebody in that 2013 to 2014 year. And it was Bow Wow as well as Keisha Shantae. However, the season was short-lived. If you remember, I believe it was Karrueche Tran when she dissed Blue Ivy, looking in my notes here, after reading that BET show, like, it wasn't her fault. It was whoever wrote it fault, and she was reading the teleprompter. Now, the rumor is that the real reason 106 in Park was canceled was due to that statement, and because the Carters were not pleased with it. So if you remember, she was doing something called, I think, the top 6 things Blue Ivy thought at the VMAs, and right before she closed out, she says, "I really do wake up like this because my parents never comb my hair." Well, she did apologize on air immediately, according to reports, saying, "Sorry, Blue, I love you," and also on her Twitter saying she loved her some Beyonce and Blue Ivy. The damage was done. Looking forward to the reboot, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm excited about that. But I do remember that time. I do remember that clip being shown. Now, I did not watch very much after Roxy as well as Terrence J was no longer the host anymore. I kind of was in a different place in my life, so I wasn't as consistent in terms of watching that at the time. But boy, especially when it was Free and AJ. I also had a chance to meet AJ, actually. It was at the March for the Edmund Pettus Bridge. So went over to Alabama. One of my road trips. It was actually one of my first. Well, I road tripped a lot, but it was one of my first road trips where I just kind of went out on a whim and just enjoyed myself. I stayed there all day, went over to one of the famous hotels there in the city of Selma, Alabama. Had a chance to see a lot of different stars while I was there. So yeah, anyway, but in passing, not necessarily talking to them, but I had a chance to actually sit down and have a conversation with AJ, met his parents. Yeah, he's just a friendly guy and just all the family and all of the things. So yeah, I just thought about that. So forgive me for going on a tangent. I definitely had to share, but looking forward to that 106 in Park reboot if that happens, especially the fact they're going to change the format. I want to know what that's going to look like. Side note though, Lauren LaRosa, y'all, that girl, if you don't know, she's been an amazing guest host every single time on The Breakfast Club. She continues to hit. As a matter of fact, I would say it was a clip I saw of Angie Martinez when she was linking up with Lauren LaRosa. She congratulated her and basically said, "Girl, you are bodying it as a journalist." And I'm like, yes, I could not agree more. I must also say that I've seen a lot of comments about Lauren LaRosa hosting the show and how she should replace Jess, but I completely disagree. If anybody on that show should be replaced, it should be DJ Envy. It should be. It should be DJ Envy. I ain't felt the same way about Envy since he allowed that scammer Caesar Pena to come on the show, and then he refused to take accountability for bringing a scammer on. And I know he was like, "Well, I didn't know that he was a scammer." And da da da. It's not even about just that. It's just about like taking some sort of an accountability, and you refuse. Instead, you were like, "Oh no, I was scammed as well." That's a cop out. That's a cop out, and that's not fair to your audience. It's just not the most. You're not. I don't believe you always operate from a place of integrity. So anyway, if anybody should be replaced on the show again, I think it should be DJ. It's DJ Envy, flipping MJ. The fact that iHeartRadio allowed you to stay in that position without a proper public apology to your audience, I don't know. It just baffles me. It just baffles me. Ugh. But you know what? It was my understanding, though, that Caesar was arrested for wire fraud and is expected to take a plea deal in the case, according to Vibe.com. And speaking of iHeart.com is confirming something that we talked about in our summer episodes, which is a docuseries with Ashanti and who else but Nelly. Originally, I think the rumor was it was going to be a reality show. However, it does sound like they're going to actually have like some sort of a Peacock docuseries, which will follow the couple after they got married in 2023 and they welcomed their baby KK last July. They will both, though, be executive producers, according to this report. And while neither of them have commented on the show, I think this would be a great insight if you ask me, especially since Ashanti was so tight-lipped about her pregnancy. Yeah, but maybe that's why you wanted to keep it on the hush, keep it on the low. But anytime somebody has something that's going on with their body, I respect the fact that they don't want everybody to necessarily know.